Ben Goujon with Quad City Arts, and welcome back to Talking Art, supported by Quad City Bank and Trust. Today I am thrilled to be talking art with abstract painter and creative placemaker Gabriella Torres. Gabby, welcome to Talking Art.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here. We've crossed paths through the art world so many times.
So many times.
And you've got a huge event coming up.
I do.
Yeah, tell us about the Paint It Back Festival.
Okay, so the Paint It Back Festival is oh gosh, where to begin? So Paint It Back, we are a 501c3, so we are a nonprofit organization, and we became an organization through our Paint It Back Street Art Festival.
Right.
So the Street Art Festival is basically a week where we, there was this, I guess I should probably, you know what, the best way to explain what the festival is probably to talk about how it came to be.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Please.
Okay, perfect. Because I think that'll give context for everything. So back in 2023, I have my art studio in a gallery that will be opening soon on Main Avenue in Clinton, Iowa, and it is kitty corner to what has been always known as the Toyota Building, which was an old car dealership. It's like the last standing piece of this old dealership. It's like 8,000 square foot. It used to be, I think they used to do like repairs or something. It was an automotive garage of some kind, right? And I always loved that building because I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is such a treasure. Like there's so many, like artists were always like, that's a playground, like that has so much potential.
I love seeing old abandoned buildings.
Yes,
it's like, that's what gets me going.
Yes, I'm like, what can I do with this? And so we were having our annual Lions Art and Wine Walk, and so I was in front of my building kind of handing out snacks and treats and things like that. And I just kept looking at it, and, over the years, it had just sort of fallen into, like the garage door windows had been kind of broken, and there was plywood, and it just was kind of sad to see it look like that, And so I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, gosh, what can I do? And so in 2022 in October, I had gone to Miami. I was part of a group art, a show there. Yeah. So I went, and while I was there, the gallerist was like, "Oh, have you been to Wynwood?" And I'm like, "No, what's that?" And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you have to go to Wynwood." And I'm like, "Okay." So on one of the days off, I was like, "Okay," I took an Uber, went to Wynwood, and so Miami is a very colorful city, but a lot of the buildings, at least in my recollection, they're like, I just remember it feeling like super beige and like sandy color. Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those like warm weather colors.
Right, yeah, exactly. And so I'm in this Uber driving on this like overpass thingy, and then I just sort of remember looking out the window and being like, and just seeing this like, all of a sudden there's all this color. So you go from beige into like just bright, colorful, dynamic, and like you're like
Oz.
Like Oz. Yes, it was like Oz, like waking up in Oz, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that? And that we get off the exit, and that was Wynwood. So Wynwood is a neighborhood in Miami that had. So I did a little bit of research, and I know I need to do more, but just sort of surface research. It used to have full of warehouses, and they produced or housed or did something with textiles. And that was like the main business there, or what was happening, and that industry, I should say. And so then, but when that died out, those buildings just became sort of abandoned and neglected and were just there, right? So they were empty, and it attracted, like, unfortunately, those spaces tend to be like go-to then for like activities that, that aren't great. It's kind of sad. But there were a lot of like walls, right? Empty walls. So of course, you know who shows up, right?
Yeah.
The graffiti artists, the writers, the street artists, the muralists. And so they were the first to kind of go and like start making art. And then there was a gallery that was very smart because they knew immediately that once they saw that the artist had arrived, and so they knew immediately that was it was just a matter of time before they turned it around, right? So they established a gallery. And then this developer who he's passed, but he called himself like a creative placemaker before it was like a buzzword, right? The buzzword. And so he bought like a city's block worth of these warehouses. Mm-hmm. And then he enclosed them and he created a street art like museum and gallery. So, and he called it Wynwood Walls. And that was really the anchor point and what really started this entire street art culture there that turned everything. So now it's just the whole neighborhood became a canvas.
That's awesome.
It really is awesome. And now it's like, and of course, after that was established, then it was lightning fast boutiques, restaurants, bars, the things cafes, all the things that follow the arts. And so it totally transformed that neighborhood. And now you can't go there without their like massive developments. Now it's like, and this is some of this, I have mixed feelings about this part, right? Because like it's not always a great after effect. There is a tipping point to development, right? Where it's like now everyone's priced out.
Yeah.
But now it's one of the more expensive neighborhoods in Miami, right? But the heart of that story though was how art and street art and public art, right? Because it was accessible for everyone, completely transformed that area and brought it back to life. It resuscitated it.
Yeah.
So 2023, May, first Thursday of May, I'm in front of this building, or in front of my building, looking at the Toyota building. Now we call it the Painted Back building. But at the time, everyone knows it as the Toyota building. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, you know what? And it just clicked. I was like, oh my gosh, Wynwood, right? And Chris, Shannon, who is my partner in life and also my partner with Paint It Back, and in art and everything, he is an incredible muralist, and he also is well connected with like the whole street art world and writers and everything. Yeah. So, and I was just like, oh my gosh, why don't we just do a mini Wynwood? Like, why don't we just do that, right?
Yeah.
And we'll just see what happens. And I know the owners of the property are the Sawmill Museum, and it's a lot of property, right? So they weren't sure what they wanted to do with it yet or what was the best use for it. So I thought, well, shoot, while they're trying to figure out what to do with it, why don't we just cover it in art? Like, why don't we do this in the meantime?
Yeah.
So I remember messaging Chris and being like, okay, do you want to do like a street art festival? Like, do you want to do this, cover this in murals? Yeah. And he's like, yes. It's like, awesome. So then I proposed, so the last Thursday in that month of May, I went to the Sawmill board and was like, this is my proposal. I showed him all these pictures from Wynwood. I'm like, believe me, like, this will change this part of Main Avenue. Which, much of our Main Avenue it's well developed, lots of active storefronts and all that. But when I bought my building where I have my studio and my gallery, like, it was like the Wild West. We were like the last we're the last block before the river. And so I'm like, okay, I promise you, like, if this will help revitalize and re-energize this area, and it'll also help drive traffic to the museum, which also sits kind of in this back.
Well, yeah, that's going to extend the downtown to the river, and
so and they were like, yeah, let's do it. They totally let us do it.
That's great.
It was awesome. So in 3 months, we planned a festival, which essentially is this: we invite artists from all over the country to come. They spend 1 week. They can paint whatever they want, so long as it's family friendly. And then at the end of the week, we celebrate it with a big block party. And that's essentially the festival.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you do it every year. So these murals are only up for 1 year.
Yes. Which is like a concept that people don't, and now they're starting to get it and accept it. Initially, people were like, why would you paint over it? But when I explained it to the Sawmill board, and what I explained to people is that, like, it keeps it evergreen, it keeps it dynamic, it keeps it fresh, and that's why people will come to visit, because they want to see the murals before they change.
Right.
And again, I totally modeled this after what Wynwood does. You know, they have their, when you go, or Wynwood Walls, when you go into the Wynwood Walls area, you know, they have some murals that like are, I think, fairly permanent or semi-permanent.
Sure.
But then there are certain walls that are constantly changing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why they get people who come again and again and again, you know, and they attract tourists from all over the world. I mean, it is also Miami, but
Right.
but still, right?
Clinton is very similar to Miami.
I mean, there's water.
There's water.
Okay.
There's a boat.
There's boats.
Yeah.
We love boats. Miami loves boats. I mean, really, the list goes on, but I won't bore everyone with the similarities.
Well, so you gave me so much to talk about right there that
I'm so sorry.
I can't wait to dive in. But when are, just logistically, when are the dates this year? When can people come and see the action?
Yes.
See people painting? Go to the block party?
Yes. Okay. So the action. Artists arrive on August 16th, and that's when the painting will begin. And then the painting continues throughout the week and is completed by the 23rd of August. So then some community dates and things for people to participate in. So on the August 21st, we are hosting a sponsor night. So it's kind of our thank you to our sponsors, our volunteers, and our Paint It Back board, and the people who've just been with us along the way and helped make this massive undertaking possible. So we are doing that, and I'm so excited for this because, you know, it's not enough to plan this massive festival. I also was like, it'll be the soft opening for our art gallery. Because why not?
Why not? Do it all at once.
So that will be in our art gallery. So what's cool about that is the artists are shipping and bringing with them art, so we can hang some of their art, their pieces.
Awesome. Yeah.
And we're also getting some prints made of the walls from last year. Mm-hmm. So that will be the show our first show that will hang in 81 Main, which is the name of the gallery. And we'll have some live music, we'll have munchies, we have some refreshments, and it's, 5 to 7, and just an opportunity for our sponsors. And again, everyone who's made it possible, they can come in, the artists will be there, see the art, and also it'll be an opportunity to fundraise.
Yeah.
To continue that because fundraising is like year round, right?
Especially these days.
Yeah, especially these days. Yes. So that's Thursday night. And then Friday night, we will have our meet and greet event, which is at the Paint It Back building. So that's at the corner of McKinley and Main in Clinton, Iowa. And we will, that's from 6 to 9. We'll have the associate who is our Paint It Back DJ. And then we have Delectable Delights, which is a local Clinton food truck. And then we have the Rusty Wagon, which I just call the booze wagon because that's what it is. It's where you get your booze. It's where you get your drinkies. And so they'll all be there. So we'll have music, food, booze, and the artists will be there. And you can either, if you pre-ordered your T-shirt, then you bring your shirt. Or if you don't have your shirt, you buy your T-shirt, and then they sign it. And I feel like when I say that they sign the shirt, I'm really not doing justice to what they do because they just...
Well, they're street artists, so I'm sure that signature is a piece of art of itself.
So they're beautifying they're turning your T-shirt into art.
Right.
And so that's just super cool to see that and to have that, so you leave with a bespoke, no one will have a T-shirt like you because everyone they do is different.
That's awesome.
So that's super awesome. And then one of our artists, his name's Donald Ross from Kansas City. Mm-hmm. He also goes by Scribe. And he's a supremely talented artist and is just one of the most creative minds I've ever met. And he is also, we're going to screen his film that he just produced, and it just came out this year, called The Scribbleverse, which is a 18-minute long film that is essentially just getting you enter into his mind and his imagination because so he is super prolific and has tons of work all over and in the Children's Hospital in Kansas City, and he even wrapped some of the ambulances I think that are for kids and the plane that is for kids and all this stuff. And so the pieces that he ends up doing on walls and things are actually characters and scenes characters from this whole world he's created that he creates children's books based on these characters. And so even his production wall that he did last year with East and Emit from Colorado, that was featured in his latest children's book. So it's super cool. So this
That's
Scribbleverse film is
Yeah.
kind of like getting into that, his mind and his world.
Sure.
So we'll screen that, and then we will do so I think at 8:30 we're going to screen that, and then at 9 we'll do a PG-13 is what I was told I could do, art-related film that I have yet to pick. So I don't know. If you have suggestions, please let me know. But anyway, so that's Friday night. So that's just Friday night, and the big event, the massive event, is August 23rd, is our block party.
Right.
So yeah,
That's where the murals are completed or near completion.
Yes, yeah. So the block party, and if I am just a wall of words, just tell me to press pause, because like can talk about this straight for probably 2 to 3 hours. It's just so much information. But if you're okay, I'll continue.
No, let's go.
Let's go dive in.
I don't have to edit it. He
Okay.
does.
Okay. Haha. Yay. Lucky you. Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
So the block party. The block party is Saturday, August 23rd from noon until 10 p.m. And this year we've added so many things, which is super exciting. I really was like, this year I want to lean into that festival vibe. We're the Paint It Back Street Art Festival. I really want it to feel like a festival.
Yeah.
Even for just a day, right? Yeah. So we have we have our main stage. So when you enter, basically you're gonna have, there's like the main stage. We'll have bands and music from noon until 10. So we have, I don't know if you want me to list everyone who's going to be there, or I can just do an overview first. What do you prefer?
I'm fine either way. I want you to tell me what you want to tell people.
I want to tell people so many things. I just wish I could have
things.
coffee with everyone and just be like, okay. All right, drink of water and I'm going to dive in. Okay, so, and I brought a cheat sheet too, because there's it's a lot and I don't want to miss anything or anyone. Okay, so for the block party, firstly, I also want to say our block party this year is the official after party for the Fit Pro 5K race, which is awesome. They reached out to us and were like, hey, we want Paint It Back, your block party, to be our official after party, which is so great because it's already driving people to our event, which I'm, super grateful for.
It's a big weekend in Clinton.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. I mean, people we actually have lots of stuff that goes on like all the time, so it's cool. It's nice in that we're forming these partnerships and stuff. Yeah. So from noon until 4 is kind of our kids' time.
Sure.
So we will have our kids zone. We have a kids wall. So each year we've always had our kids wall, and this year we are adding. I think we're going to make it longer, and we're adding stencils. So we always
fun.
Yeah. So and the kids, they love the kids wall. Like they love it a lot. It fills up within like an hour. That's why I'm awesome. Like I think we need to double. And we have like a 50-foot. Like we bought these old billboard tarps or whatever. And they're huge. And we thought, okay, 50-foot, we have plenty of space. But I think like in an hour and a half, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like it was just totally.
That's awesome.
It is so awesome. And I love to keep those. So we have those for us, we hold on to those. So we'll have our kids wall, and this year we are adding stencils. So I think that'll be really fun for kids to be able to like put the stencil up and spray it and then see like an image afterwards. And it's, and it's part of the art form. So super exciting. We have Characters to Life they're doing balloon art, glitter body art, and then face painting, which will be fun, so the kids can or kids at heart. I don't think they have an age restriction. I might get my face painted if I have time. So there's that. So they'll be there, and then we have Clinton Public Library, and they're bringing some kids games, and then the Sawmill Museum is they're very kid friendly. It sounds terrifying. It is Velcro axe throwing, fun. But for kids. so no one will get hurt. It's I've seen it. It's okay. It's okay. And then so that is the kids zone area, and then our sheriff's department is bringing. They have this cute little train that they bring, and they just drive the kids around. So they'll be there
fun.
too. So there's like fun stuff for the kids to do.
Yep.
And parents, the Rusty Wagon's going to be there starting right at noon. So, and where we're putting the wagon, you will have eyes on the kiddos. So the kids can have fun and play, and you can maybe have a Bloody Mary or something, or your carbless, or your Busch Light, or
whatever
maybe
you want.
a bottled water or a Coca-Cola. I don't know, but you can sit down in the shade because we're having a lot more tents this year, so there's shaded areas.
Yeah.
And so you can sit down and watch your kids have fun while you also have fun and enjoy yourself. Because while the kids are playing, we also have live music. So even starting right off at noon, we have Christina, Marie, and Sean Healy of Dubuque. They are going to be our kickoff. They're going to kick it off from 12 to 2, and that's a mix of like jazz and blues and folk music. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. And then from 2 until 5, we have DJ Angel coming in from Chicago, and it's like super, like, it's going to be so much fun. It's like Latin vibes, very party.
Oh, fun.
Like, ooh, yeah. A lot of, I hope to see dancing, especially with the booze wagon on the premises.
Yeah.
I feel like
People will be ready to dance.
They might be ready to dance. And then we have the Bill and Dan Dunmore of the Harvest Band out from Iowa City. They'll be there from 5 to 7. 7 to 8 is the Malortians from Clinton, Iowa. And then our official Paint It Back band. We love them. Dear friends, the Stockwells. And they close us out from 8 to 10. So the music is all day.
That's awesome.
All day. And then, so when the kids, the other sort of activity, kids really, and also I think this is for everyone, which I'm super excited about. So I mentioned Ollywood from Dubuque.
Yeah.
That's an indoor skate park. They're a nonprofit. Super amazing. And I believe Jason is the mastermind behind that. He is bringing a ramp. And so from noon to 4, there will also be like BMX demonstration, show, tricks.
That's
like, how
fun.
cool is that? Yeah, I am so excited for that. So that's also happening like from 12 to 4. And then at 2 o'clock, we have our classic car show starts, which will be, so we're blocking off 2 streets.
This is like 14 events
in one. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I wanted. I wanted
Yeah.
it to be like, there is something for everyone.
Yeah.
And my vision too was like, I want all of the space activated. I want it to just be stuff, things, people, movement, excitement, energy. So 2, the classic cars start to show up, and they'll park from 2 to 6. Mm-hmm. And also at 2, the paint battle begins. So this year we are adding our paint battle. And what that will be, we have 2 artists. We had a submission. You guys helped us share that, which was thank you so much. It was very helpful. So we have Jacob Schaenauer from Clinton, and then Jacob, I want to say, I don't know if it's Kupperman or Cooperman from Des Moines, but he will also be participating. And so we have 3 judges. So this year our judges are Wes, Emit, and Hippie. And they are they've picked the color palette. So each artist gets 12 cans of this. It's so identical box.
Same colors.
Yep. And they have 7 hours to paint something. And so Chris built this incredible freestanding, like 8-foot by 16-foot wall on casters. So you can move around. So we're gonna tape a line down the middle. So they get 8-foot by 8-foot each. They'll paint right next to each other, and they don't know what the theme is yet. So they will learn the theme the day of. So they show up. They don't know what the colors are either. Right. So they basically show up. They get their box of paint, and they will learn what the theme is at that time. And they're only allowed to bring like a sketchbook and some spray paint caps. And I was like, bring some cardboard for overspray, obviously. Like, that's fine. But like no other tools. So like it is going to be intense.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And so
Is this the first year you've done the paint battle?
Yes, it's our first year. And I'm very excited. And I have to say that is made possible by our sponsor, AdCraft, is sponsoring the paint battle. Mm-hmm. So they're the ones who are making this happen. So super excited. Awesome. And we'll have, and they've got a nice tent for us too, we'll have our DJ. Although I think our DJ, the associate, who is also a dear friend, his name is Chad Jensen, but his DJ name is the associate, and it's pretty amazing. We're like, you need to get a helmet like I forget the band. Who's the band that like?
Oh yeah,
you know,
Dead Mouse.
Is it? Well, Dead Mouse is a great example, right? But maybe I'll buy him a helmet. It depends how hot it is that day, though, because I don't think I can afford the ones that have like fans in them.
Right.
Daft Punk. Thank you. Yes, it's Daft Punk. So he'll be out there in his El Camino.
Of course.
Right? How cool is that?
I have such a soft spot for like 80s luxury car, like just tanks.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Like an old like Lincoln or Caddy from like 1980.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Whatever. Sign me up.
Yeah. So my parents, sidebar, my dad, I love my father. When he had his midlife crisis, instead of buying like a convertible, he bought like this Lincoln Mercury, like this huge car. And I was sort of like, okay, great. Everybody else's dad bought like a sports car, and this is what you bought. And of course, I ended up driving it in high school. But it was like a boat. Yeah. You're just like on a sofa.
And you float.
You do. You
don't feel a bump in the road.
Anything.
No.
Gosh.
They're incredible.
They are.
My grandfather was a Detroit steel worker. And so like always, like he was we're buying Detroit American cars and always like leased a new Caddy like every 2 or 3 years and like took exquisite care of that.
Of course.
So they were always immaculate. And they floated. You just...
And I have yet to, they are incredible. And I have yet to have a modern, like today, like a vehicle that floats like that.
No.
You know?
I don't know.
I don't think they make them like that anymore. No. I just boomered myself.
I know.
I don't make them like that anymore.
Back when I was a kid.
I know, when I was a kid. Anyway, sidetrack. So they're going to be there, and then Chad doing all of that. And then, as if that weren't enough stuff, we have our market that we're introducing this year,
right?
Which is super brand new, but also wanting to open it up as an opportunity for artists and creative people to come and either sell their stuff or just introduce themselves to the community. So this year, and I'm going to say who's there. And then also I'm going to say who our artists are.
Yeah, so, please do.
Yeah, and I guess I'm kind of telling you because if I forget, you can remind me. Okay. Because I'll probably forget. I literally called my friend, Matt Parbs, who is our board president, also a dear friend, and he's just like, he's so helpful to me. And I was like, I had an idea, and I'm like, oh, but I can't write this down right now because I'm driving. And then I was trying to figure out how to talk to my notes. Anyway, I just called him. I was like, are you busy? He's like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, hey, I need you to write this down in an email and send it to me. So, because I'll forget.
So I remember, right.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess I'm telling you, don't let me forget to talk about our artists, because without them, none of this is possible.
Sure.
Okay, so our vendors. I will get I should have brought my readers, because that's my life now.
There's a boomer right there.
I know. I messaged my friend the other day, I guess I'm at Walgreens looking for readers now. That's what I do.
Well, don't tell anyone, but these are transitional trifocals, so.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
good.
You don't see the lines anymore.
You don't see the lines. No. Well, I won't tell. Your secret's safe with me. I'm a dead giveaway because I have to put this back here so I can read it. I need it 5 miles away from me, and I still have to zoom. Okay, so our art market, we have our PIB merch table, which will also house artist swag. So I know some of my artists are bringing in prints and different things, so that'll be available for like a little token, a keepsake. And our merch, PIB merch, we will have a few totes that we have left, in addition to our T-shirts and some tumblers and koozies. We have Zengas, which is Heather Housengay from Mount Carroll. We have Jay Pauley, also from Mount Carroll, 2 artists. Super excited to have them. We also have Stevie Wicks. She is a local Clinton artist, and so she's going to have her booth. We have Vavrovsky Art, who is Quad City represent, Miranda. Super excited to have her there. And then we have Lions Classic Tattoo. Our friend John Smalls just moved back to the area after 25 years. He's tattooed everywhere, and he's like he bought a building and is opening up a classic tattoo parlor on Main Avenue, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. And so he was like, "Can I have a booth and a tent So go on.
I love that tattooing has gotten to a place where like I can have a vintage bougie tattoo parlor versus like this is in a back room in an alley and you go out and Sailor Pete will take the cigarette out of his mouth and jab you.
Yeah, exactly. Once he's done with that bottle of rum, he'll get right to you.
Yeah, but that's an art form.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel has just taken a while for mainstream acceptance.
Acceptance, exactly. So, I'm super excited that he'll be there and that he's in our community and opening up a business and a parlor, and he will also, I believe. He said, and you'll just have to ask when you go there, but I believe he's going to do a raffle or give away a free tattoo.
Oh, cool.
Which is super cool.
Yeah.
Because, they're not cheap.
Not cheap.
They're not cheap. So, those are our art market, our art vendors, I should say, in our market area. And then we have our like sort of fashion area, our fashion tents. So we have a Mitts Lounge, Jessica Fole-Paisley from Dubuque, who is just a creative powerhouse and a dear friend. I absolutely adore her. I forget what year. Sorry, Jessica. She created a Mitts magazine, which is like a high-end fashion magazine, because she was like, there's a lot of like fashion happening in the Midwest, but no one's really amplifying that or celebrating that or giving it a venue where it can be seen and displayed, right?
Sure.
So she created this beautiful magazine called Mitts Magazine. But out of that, she also ended up creating this incredible community of creatives. And so now it's in addition to fashion, now it's like this online creative community. And she's just growing this and amplifying it. So she is bringing the fashion and lounge to Clinton, which is so awesome. And her focus is on, both of my vendors for my fashion tents, they're focused on sustainability. So it's all repurposed vintage clothing. Mm-hmm. And so with Jessica's booth or her tent, or lounge, let's call it her lounge, there's a clothing swap. So you can bring an item and take an item if you want to, which is great. There is the upscaling I forget the word, because I have no brain cells left from this festival. But you can she'll have patches or different things that you can like do. So upcycle. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. So upcycle station, and then she has like a photo booth area. So she will style you and have a mini photo shoot. How fun is that?
Fun. Yeah.
So all of that is available, and then the Mitts has their signature scent, which is actually incredible. It's all I wear, and I will be hand painting the bottles that it comes in, and so that'll be unique to the festival, and you can only get them there. So that's super cool. And then in another booth, but also Dubuque our indigenous artist Emerald from Pink Moons Cree, and she does beadwork, so she'll have her art and her beadwork for sale there and on display, so I'm excited to have her. And then we have my friend Carrie Denier, who does Mama Gets Casual, also vintage clothing, and it's this whole boho glam vibe as she's partnering with my friend Danica, who owns Spring Lake Campground in Savannah. So it's like all this fun, it's like super fun, right? Like how fun is that?
This is amazing. This is like the event of the summer.
I mean, you said it. I appreciate that. Yes.
One thing I want to ask you about, because I mean, as you're sitting here talking about this festival, the thing that strikes me is in the time I have known you, and I met you when I first started working at Quad City Arts, and you were working on the Grove at that
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
And just about to install that. Is A, your passion for art and public art and placemaking and community.
Mm-hmm.
But B, and I always admire this trait so much in people, like you're a doer.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are not someone who waits for opportunities to come. Like you make your own opportunities and you just go out and you do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What has that evolution been like for you as an artist? Because I have some of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that came from a lot of years of being frustrated
Mm-hmm.
while I waited for the golden thing to fall from the sky.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear about your journey with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I feel like that journey, where to even begin? It's been totally insane and wild and beautiful and wonderful. And I think really all of that, I don't know that I was always a doer.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a long time I waited for the opportunity to come. And maybe not always with art, but maybe when I was focused more on poetry and writing and things like that.
Sure.
But really it was when I finally stepped in and really focused on creating art, visual art and paintings and things like that, that I started to, honestly, my first grant I ever got was a Quad City Arts grant, and that changed my life. Because it was like the most validating experience, and I was like, oh wow, people like, and it was like for, I don't even know, I think it was like to do art class with kids and talk about abstract art, or something like that. But it gave me, I was like, oh, and I like my friend, I think Matt Parbs, he also vice president of Grow Clinton, he like sent me the link, and I was like, okay, I'll just apply, and I got it. I was like, oh, I can do this, and that was all I needed, was to be like, I can do this, you know. And I realized, too, that, like, if I wanted things to happen, because I had in my heart from 2016, 2017 was like, how do I bring more art to Clinton? How do I bring art to Clinton? Like, we need art. It matters. It's important. You know, what do I do? What do I do? And I finally was like, well, you just do it. You just make it. You just do it. Like, you can't wait for people to, you know, sometimes you can't wait for people to help you either. You just have to do it. And so the Quad City Arts Grant, and then that gave me the confidence to apply to Iowa Arts Council, and I got that grant, and I was like, okay. And that changed everything. And then from there, I never looked back, and I just kept doing. And now it's so wild to me that I ever waited.
Right.
Because now I don't know any other, it's like the hardwiring of my brain has completely transformed, and now I'm just do.
Yeah.
And like, it's weird. Like, I'm not afraid. I just do it. And I just, I dive in.
Well, and I know I find with that, like, when you're active doing the projects, that's what triggers your brain to come up with the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise
constantly.
you're just sitting in that, like,
I think
the
you
morass.
I think that you really hit it. That is so true. It was like, you know, it's the combination. I got the grant that did, and then so it was like, oh, next. And once you start doing, then your brain is like, oh, I mean, I have like 5,000 ideas that I still want to do and projects that I still want to do.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm going to do as many of them as I possibly can while I'm on this mortal coil, you know? Like, I'll do it.
You don't have any other time.
Right, exactly.
That we know of.
As of, to my earthly knowledge. So,
right. So you're, as you said, you're also opening your own art studio or gallery as part of this. You have your studio already.
Yeah.
But what's the gallery going to be? Is it going to be strictly your stuff, or all local artists, regional?
It'll be, you know, hopefully we local, regional, national, all of it. Yeah. All of it. I mean, like, I'll have my stuff, some of my stuff hanging up, mostly just because I need more space. But I don't know, part of my mission and goal as an artist is really like, is to create opportunities for other artists. Like, that's really important for me. And access. Like, the reason I was so inspired by the Grove, and even when I was doing projects where it was like, I did a project called Wild, and I made a collection of artwork based on my favorite places, natural landscapes of Clinton, Iowa. And then I had an art opening in the Sawmill Museum. And I mean, it was fun. I love painting, right? So that is how all of this began, is because I paint. And I still I paint every day. Yeah. Even if it's 5 minutes, I paint every day. Sometimes I'm lucky and I get an hour, but I paint every day, because if I don't, none of this is possible.
Right.
So it was fun to create a collection, but what I really wanted was to offer Clinton a gallery experience where you go to a place and it's like, you know, there's wine and cheese, and it was catered, and all the grant paid for all of that, but I was able to cater it. I had beer, I had wine, I had, you know, refreshments, and it was like art hung really nicely, and you know, and it was amazing, and people were like, I can't believe I'm seeing this in Clinton, Iowa. And it was accessible, and that's why I want. And that really inspired me to do. But I was like, okay, I need more access. I need public, and that was the Grove. Right. And and it was really important for me that it was like that you could immerse yourself, like you could walk through it. That's why I call it an art forest. And I wanted it to be on the same level as the person who was looking at it.
Right.
That there is no distinction between you or the art, because you know, a lot of times I think. We just sort of, like, when you see something hanging on a wall, you're like, oh, it's fancy, don't touch it. And a lot of people feel like, that's not for me.
Sure.
That's not meant for me.
Right.
Right? But when it's like in the ground and you could touch it if you wanted to, it's like, oh, okay. Right? So and then that was the impetus where I was like, okay, paint it back. Like street art, murals, walls, you can take your picture. Like it is for everyone all the time. All 365.
Well, and it's in the title, and like hearing you talk, and so much of that idea of you as an artist giving back to your community and having that cycle, because you know that's that cycle of giving.
Yes,
that sustains everyone.
Exactly. It's exactly. Yeah. That is really what it is. And honestly, like just talking about it with you, I'm like realizing, like, you know, when I make a painting, I'm like taking colors and the brush, and I you know, I'm picking out which brush I want and the colors I want, and like and I'm like I'm almost orchestrating this like visual poem, you know what I mean? And so, and I'm placing different things in different areas, and then you have the work of art. To me, these things are no different. There's art, but there's also, it's the art of the creating of the event, the curating of the event, of the experience that you're giving to a community and to people, you know. That to me is maybe the highest form of art there ever is, and it's in the name of service, which is like, it is everything. It is everything. Yeah. And I mean, I get a little emotional about it, but it's like,
it's very inspiring hearing you talk about it.
It is everything, and it is what I believe so profoundly in the power of art and what it can do for individuals and groups and larger communities and regions. And I think it is for me in my world, it is the way forward. It's what I know, and it's what I can do for my community to make a difference. And that's what I will do until again I'm the.
Well, and you know, and you talked about this on your website, and it's something we talk about at Quad City Arts a lot. But you know, not only is this bringing art and cultural vibrancy to Clinton, but the economic impact of an event like this.
Oh yeah,
is.
It's real.
It's real.
It's real.
You know, how many people are going to come into downtown Clinton for the weekend of the festival? How many people are going to spend money there, whether at your vendors or other vendors?
Right.
How many people are going to get hotels? How many people are going to...
Yes. And I can tell you, I know people are getting hotels because they're my friends, but they're from out of town.
Right.
They're coming in from Dubuque and Burlington and Des Moines, and they're getting hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And I've had on Main Avenue where we are, like, I've had business owners be like, yeah, I noticed an increase of sales when you have your festival.
Yeah.
That's huge. So when I told you fast or rewind to when I first was talking about how Paint It Back started, I was one of the only, I bought my building and it was like the Wild West. And my friend Ben Irwin, he bought the building to the left of me. But we were like, we were like, oh no, like, we're just here. We got to renovate these buildings. Now, since that time and since Paint It Back, and I'm not saying Paint It Back is the reason, but I also know it's a factor. Right? Someone else bought another building and is gutting the inside and redoing all of it. And another guy just bought a huge building and is saving a building that was on the brink of being torn down. And he is restoring it back to its glory. You got to wonder, I don't know if it's because of Paint It Back, but I also know Paint It Back helps. Seeing that there's this huge building covered in murals that drives traffic has got to help. Maybe on a subconscious level, you're like, okay, there's life here. It's worth it, right? Like I can see this developing and it blowing up.
Well, and people want to be a part of.
Yes.
You know, and you've created something here that people see and see the impact of it and how successful it's been. And they say, oh, I want to be close to that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's exciting, of course, yeah.
It makes me, kind of going back to what you were saying very early on about, to use the dirty word for it, gentrification of neighborhoods. And when I was in New York, I lived in Harlem and saw that happening
in real time.
As I was living in that neighborhood. But you think about the Sohos and Brooklyns of that area that are now bougie and expensive, but those all became that because they were rundown areas. Artists flock there because of low rents.
Yes, I mean that's
and just started creating, and then people say we want to be part of that.
Exactly, it's contagious in the best way possible.
Yeah.
It's the energy, because art is energy, right?
Yeah.
It is a sign of life and hope, right? And so I was talking about this with a friend. Chris and I have been painting some murals in different places this summer. And if you have two smaller communities, and we were just hypothetically, I was just talking, right? But you have two towns, one town, and they're both the same, small, and maybe with some older buildings or whatever. One building or one town has 0 murals. The other town is covered in murals. What town are you going to be like, you know what? I wonder if they got ice cream here. What do you think? You want to just pull over and see what, right?
Yep.
It's because there's a sign of life.
Yeah.
And of care. You care, you're proud enough about your community that you invest in putting up art, right? It is, and it's in, we're saying, it's an energy and it's contagious, and people want to be a part of that. And it's really what the power of art and artists and public art is it is a signifier that we exist and we're here. And we're gonna be here, and we're excited, and we care, and we have this energy and this vibe. And I think that's really we're a beacon. That's the word. Art is a beacon. It is a beacon and an indicator, that things are here.
Well, and it makes me think about, and we'll tie things in a bow here real quick, but it makes me think about that idea of Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes.
Of food, shelter, whatever. And then art, and that indicates hey, we got the basics.
Yeah.
And we're at this stage.
Yeah. Right, because if you see that a community has art and murals and public art, then you're like, oh man, they're doing great. They must have a good coffee shop. They must have these things, right?
Yeah.
It really is a social indicator. It is a cue.
Yeah.
Whether or not people are cognizant of it or not, it really is. It is a beacon of we're going on. We got things going on, right?
Yeah.
Before I forget to, I know we need to wrap it up. I need to make sure I give my website and socials, or my marketing friend will kill me because I didn't say. Also, the artists. Can I say their names?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So, also, that was an awesome discussion. Thank you.
Yeah. I feel like we could sit here and talk for 2
more
hours.
I know, me too. But I know that someone's gotta.
Well, then we get into 4-hour podcast,
or
Joe
you do
Rogan
have
land.
Yeah.
Right.
So I will say, we are so fortunate. Our artists this year, we have, I mentioned Donald Ross.
Yep. From Kansas
Scribe
City.
from Kansas City. We have Juan Kim, who goes by Revise from Chicago. It's so awesome. We have Emit, also known as Chuck from Denver, James Foster from Denver as well, goes by East. We have Hippie or Louie from Los Angeles, and Wes, who goes by Wes77. Wes is always bopping around, but I think he'll be from Arizona technically by the time our festival hits. We have Brandon Price, who goes by Brando. There's Chris Shannon and myself, Gabby Torres. And then this year we have 3 guest artists who are coming at the tail end of things. And so I'll just give their artist names. We have Kind from Chicago, Diosa from Mexico City, and Chucho from Chicago.
That's awesome.
So super excited. And they'll be like our live painters so while there's the music, you can see, especially Kind and the US will be finishing their bookend murals on the long wall in the back. So it'll be super rad and super cool.
That's awesome. Well, give us the info where we can find everything about it.
Yes. So we have best places are, there's paintitback.org, which is our website. Mm-hmm. And then our socials is probably also an equally, if not maybe slightly better place to check on things. Just because also it's fun because we're always having Ari Leverens as our marketing guru, and she's always posting reels and stuff. And that is Paint It Back Fest. That's it. Paint It Back Fest.
Love it.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah. No tricky letters or anything in there.
No,
no Y's.
No Y's. We did Z's. At some point. We did have a lot of dots and periods in our Instagram handle, and Ari was just like, "This isn't going to work." Yeah. And I was like, "You are the boss, applesauce. I trust you. Like, yes, I defer to your judgment. Change it."
Well, thank you so much for coming and chatting today, Gabby. I should definitely get you back again, and we can just talk other art because what you do is inspiring and it's important.
Thank you.
And I know I am just very grateful that you're in our orbit here in the Quad City. So thanks for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for all that you do and Quad City Arts does for artists. Like really, like that grant, that was the first grant. And it was the first of it changed my life. Yeah. Really, really. So you guys are.
And now you're giving it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You rock.
You rock.